Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to walk through really quick Robinson Crusoe, the game here. This is one of the games I've heard the most about as far as a cooperative game, meaning you're on the same team, you're playing against the board, whatever those conditions are. I'm not going to get too analytical because that doesn't sound very fun, but the story of it is really pretty fun, and something I like is that there's a number of different scenarios you can play. So a lot of games don't have quite as much replayability to them, but this is a game you could play many times and really enjoy as the scenario changes, so your goal and outcome and different things change as well. So let's go ahead and dive on into what we get and what I love about the game and what I don't love about the game as much, to see if this game might be right or not for you. So starting out, this is a really popular game, even though it may not look like it on Amazon right now. When I purchased this, it is a very popular game that has won a bunch of awards, as you can see down here. Like the bottom part of this board is completely lined almost with awards, which is crazy. But you've got your board right here that consists of a number of different areas. You have this up here that is a reminder of what the steps and stages are for each round. So there's a round where you do the event card, which is right here, and then you do all these different things. The morale. So there's a bunch of things that you get to do, which is really pretty cool, and it's nice to have that because your first game, you're kind of going through the steps, and it can be really difficult to remember what goes where and all that kind of stuff. So there's that, which is pretty awesome. You've got your morale tracker here, which helps you or hurts you throughout the game, so that's something to keep track of. You've got the map right here. You start right here most of the time next to the shore, and then you get to explore more of the island, which gives you resources and different things that help you throughout the game. And then you have these actions down here. You get to build things, you get to harvest things, different resources, you get to explore, you get to hunt wild animals, and then over here, these are more build actions. You get to build your shelter in different pieces of it, and you get to build your weapon level so that you can fight beasts better and that kind of thing. And then out here, there's going to be a bunch of cards that you put out here. Most of these areas are going to have stacks of cards here, and then out here you can have a bunch of cards. But right here is equipment that you can build, and some of them have different requirements. So you may have to have something else already built to build whatever it is, or you may have to trade a certain amount of wood or something like that to be able to build that. So I won't get too in depth with that, but really great as far as a thematic game goes. This is really thematic to be able to dive in and really feel like you are on this island trying to accomplish this goal and that kind of a thing. And it's fun to work with your team. My wife and I did it the very first scenario and just really enjoyed being able to kind of talk back and forth about what we should do, because this does have a lot of decisions that you can do. You each have these little discs that you are, I'll show you those in a second, but you each have these little discs that you are choosing to place on different actions, and you can place one on an action and then you roll to see if you accomplish it or not, and there are some bad things that can happen. Or if you place two discs there, then it's an automatic success. So it's interesting to try and decide, should I put one disc there and then risk not being able to accomplish it, or is this something that's really important for this round that I'll want to put two discs on there? So you take your actions, and then there's some bad stuff that can happen. Bad stuff can happen in the events phase. Those will come down here, and it gives you 2 turns to be able to accomplish those events, which I really like that aspect. So it comes down, there's an initial thing that happens, and then there's also a couple of turns where as soon as that card is pushed off, then there's something that happens that's bad at the bottom, and it just depends how bad it is. Sometimes they don't really affect you that much. Sometimes they're awful, and you definitely want to make sure you accomplish that before, which is placing the discs on there to complete that action as well. So that's how that works, which is really nice. But then over here, you've also got the night phase, and you've got the weather phase as well. So you're going to roll dice to see what happens with weather, and this can really affect you guys and your health. And that is one of the main ways to lose, is if someone dies. So you really have to watch your health, but your shelter over here really affects that as well. So that's a walkthrough of just that part of the board, some of the things you're looking at, all that kind of stuff. This is a very thick book. I would absolutely recommend watching the video, which is even on here. You don't need to read the rule book, watch it played, so it's on YouTube. It's still a long video as well. I think it's 45 minutes, but it's better than spending even longer in the rule book. So I would watch the video and then go back and potentially just read the rule book for brushing up on rules and things if you forget. There's this really handy sheet right here that shows you a bunch of information about what to do on your turn, what actions you can do, all that good stuff. And then here are the different scenarios right here. And most of these are double-sided as well, which is super duper cool. So for this one, the very first one, Castaways, your goal is just to build a big bonfire. So you need to make a wood pile of 15 pieces of wood, which is a little bit more difficult than it sounds, over the course of 12 days or 12 turns. And by turn 10, 11, or 12, you have to have 10, 11, or 12, you have to have that wood pile done and be alive for a boat to spot you and save you. So that's your goal for that one, but there's a lot of other things, which is one of the things I really like about this, is the ability to play all these other scenarios and things as well. Then you have your tiles right here of your 4 different players. Each person picks a player and they have some special abilities. You've got your health down here at the bottom, and then you have different areas here where you can take wounds throughout the game that definitely hurt you. And then in the box here, I'll just show you this. We've got a bunch more pieces. We have the tiles, we've got small cards, we've got all these different decks of cards for different things. We have these tiles or tokens right here. We've got all of these discs, we've got resources, we got food, and all sorts of different things there. So really, really fun tactile game as well, being able to, you know, draw the food and put it up on your little marker and stuff like that. So really enjoyed that aspect of the game as well. So I really enjoy this game, most of all because it is a fun cooperative game. I really enjoy cooperative games where my wife and I are on the same team and we can be attacking whatever it is, trying to figure out the solution, as opposed to just attacking each other, playing against each other. I really enjoy cooperative games, and she does as well. So that's one thing I really like about it. Another thing is how thematic it is. This game is really, it puts you into these scenarios in a really fun way, just with the graphics and all sorts of different things. As you're drawing cards, these events and different things feel like realistic things that could happen in these scenarios, which is awesome. I really enjoy that. And then the decision making. I think a good game rises or falls based on the decisions that you have to make almost always. And so being able to decide, oh, do I do this? Do I go up here and build our shelter up another level? Or do I try and upgrade our weapon, or do I just gain more health? And so trying to figure out those decisions of what to do and what discs to place where and how many is really fun to me, to try and figure out that mental puzzle to get to the ultimate solution and win the game. But that's what I really enjoy about it. You might not like it if you don't enjoy games that take a really significant amount of time in comparison to others to get into. So this game takes a little bit to set up, this game takes a little bit to just understand how to play, but once you've played the first time, you should be able to get back into it really pretty quickly, and I love the fact that it's got all the different scenarios as well. So after you play it one time, you're not repeating the exact same thing, but you're using everything you've learned to go for a different goal. And they each tell you your goal and all this kind of stuff, so really pretty fun. Volcano Island, you know, you could play that one. You could play King Kong Island, Robinson Family. There's just a bunch of different things in here that are all really enjoyable. So hopefully that gives you guys a nice touch and a taste of this game, what it is, what it does, and why it may or may not be right for you. Thanks.